Dog versus MrYagut, MrYagut, MrYogurt. I don't know what to call this guy anymore, but he's pretty good.
MrYagut, it's his name backwards, so his name is Tugay. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's T-U-G-A-Y, so it's backwards. And then the Mr., which might be his last name backwards. His last name might be RM.
Oh, I see.
I think RM's a very short last name, so probably not. But
interesting.
Match will be very interesting. We don't know exactly what deck.
I know for sure. It's the Oath deck, guys.
The list you have here is the same list Charmer has.
I guarantee
you understand this, Sunsfan? You don't have a special list.
My entire career on this. It's the Oath deck. I know.
It's going to be an Oath list that isn't the same one as Hoy's.
Exactly.
Doesn't have Tinker.
Right.
Has Redman's Pillager. Right. So it's a different. He's not just net decking.
So tell me, if this is not his deck, where did this deck come from?
That's a very
been looking at.
That's a very good.
It's been updated. I think he saw that. I mean, he's been playing for quite a while, and he saw that the gold variation deck, or the gold creation decks, have just not been super consistent. The panel kind of talked about Dog played extremely well despite having that deck. Like I'm still personally not a huge fan of the deck, but Dog just played unbelievable.
I think he played well, but he also had very good card draw yesterday. Yes. Very good card draw. He got the Horn of the Alpha every single game early on. He had the paydays.
You got
every
the payday.
game.
You got the Iron Frog Gold Mine starting again, man. Why
this
not?
Is like Stan Stefko with Bounty Hunter. It's Dog with the gold generation.
Hey, what's this? What you got there? Huh?
All right, Sunsfan,
my career still intact. Excellent.
Bronze Legionnaire and Mercenary Exiles in hand for MrYagut. Both players have a very strong opening hand. Very good curve of mana. You can play all three of these cards this turn if you're MrYagut, just to put the pressure. And the curve there isn't fantastic. You're not going to get a kill here. The damage won't hit the Bronze Legionnaire from Mortalia because of the armor. And Bristleback dodging Axe in this case. Mercenary Exiles could come down. It does. Does it curve? It does.
Excellent curves. Curves left, right, and center today. We do not have any smashes, by the way. Smash the defenses, so the gold mines will be safe all game for Dog.
And finally, the Black Hero in the third lane for Dog. So the gold mine comes online. Payday with 2 gold, not great, but Payday with 10 gold, a little bit better.
It's pretty good. I think you want to get to that 13 mark, though. That's a special number.
And now the Sorla-Con turn for both players coming down. Weird, I mean, in the first lane, looking bad for both players. Going to find a quick death there, no tower damage. In the second lane, though, also looking bad.
All right, Sorla versus Sorla. The only thing she hates more than Axe is herself. So we'll see where they end up in these lanes. Yeah, you're right. There's not great choices. For Dog, it's a little bit better, though.
This could be good for Dog if MrYagut hits the creep.
Yeah.
And that Sorla-Con hits the tower.
That would be
Could be a very good trade. 2 damage already done for Dog. That's a lot of damage for the first turn.
I don't know if he can get Payday off this turn, though. Depending on if he can pick up 3 gold, so 3 creeps, essentially. Axe is going to kill 1.
Legion could kill
Sorla if she goes in that lane, sure. If it's not for that, then only 2 gold.
And the wide lane for MrYagut, it's the lane number 2, is where the creeps spawn for Dog. So kind of blocking that Oath synergy maybe if it gets out of hand in the next few turns. And the first lane could be also tower damage for MrYagut if the creep goes in front of Legion.
This is a big deployment here for the old Sorla.
Oh,
and the tower will be hit there too. All right.
And the curve.
Yep,
the Bronze Legionnaire again. Gets the kill on the Legion. This is just the 3rd curve that impacts this game.
Yeah.
MrYagut curving his way to victory.
I think so. I mean, you can go for technically a duel into Untested Grunt, which it looks like that's going to be the case. Very nice start for MrYagut.
And look at this damage to this tower. Turn 2, 25 damage, putting it down to 15. A very healthy tower all of a sudden looks very ill.
Why not make it 29? Why
and the Untested Grunt coming down. And this could be ancient kill potential.
Yes.
If Dog doesn't come back into that very scary lane, he might get in a lot of trouble.
Yeah. So this lane in the meantime, another curve coming into place for the Mercenaries. So actually, the same 2 creeps ended up curving.
Are these creeps ever going to not curve? They're just going to curve for eternity?
If you're going to keep curving, you might as well play this here and hope for a curve here. Oh, no, that
Sunsfan.
He didn't learn, man.
You can't ask that much of this game. That's enough.
I know. But this is looking really good for MrYagut. Obviously, this is ideal for Sorla to be hitting the tower, but
Payday not looking great.
I mean, yeah.
The Traveler's Cloak was bought last turn, so a little bit of the gold.
So Payday would get to 18 plus the 3 for an Iron Fog. It's 21. That's not good enough. Is Gank going to do anything here?
You can track yourself.
Oh, you can, cloak and then kill Sorla.
That's true.
Killer.
Gank could come down, and that's exactly what we're going to see here.
Definitely
Sorla survives. stops the impending damage on that first lane, stops any black plays as well.
Still looks pretty bad, though.
It still looks pretty bad. The lethal's still there unless Dog stops that, but it stops black plays from happening. This turn is kind of irrelevant, though. If you're taking down the tower, you don't really care about playing the Oath or you know, any very strong
So
cards.
this is where, of course, we can't see Dog's item shop at all, but you kind of want to save. If you see like a Traveler's Cloak, you might want to just hold off. Maybe a TP is fine because that's 3 gold. 14 is a good, clean number. But you want to be able to cycle through your shop to be able to get the Horn of the Alphas because that is your win condition for the most part. Wow.
MrYagut
is this happening?
Going all in on this next lane.
I mean, he's looking at the board state and he's looking at mid. He's like, all right, he can't actually kill my tower mid.
For now.
Third tower is probably gone. And the fact that he's probably not going to put heroes anywhere in the first lane.
I would put at least
this is a
red
big
hero
call,
mid.
though. I agree. I would do the same, but this could work out because all you're going to have is LC to defend against an Oath lane against the Ancient, right?
Or even both heroes mid. I mean, you're going to get this tower this turn anyway, unless your opponent contests it.
I'm not saying I disagree with you.
And then Sorlikon comes down next turn,
Right,
and
he's
you're still going to push for the Ancient. So this is, I think, just much safer. Mock, I talked about MrYagut maybe having a bit of a weakness in terms of hero deployment, sometimes going all in, sometimes leaving a lane unanswered.
Right.
So that could be maybe the way that Dog ends up winning these games. But for now, MrYagut goes a bit more neutral, puts one hero on the left lane. No black heroes on the left lane, so Oath can't come down just yet.
Right.
And you do want to use your mana in the lane too, I think, to help out that lane, not to cross.
Yeah, even the LC here is kind of interesting. I mean, only 5 mana, so can't really cast anything. Still has initiative. Of course, the tower does go down. But yeah, with Sorla coming down in Oath, though, I mean, it's still risky, but that could potentially be enough to just 80 him.
This because Nasal Goo could get the kill on Bounty Hunter. No proc on Bounty Hunter either, and that health would go down. There is a Shield of Aquila, though, in hand for Dog.
He did buy some, yeah.
So
that's from the secret shop.
Wasted the gold, no Horn of the Alpha, and this is what we're talking about. If he gets the Horn of the Alpha early, I think his deck is obviously going to perform. And
I mean, even in the games that he, like, there was one game he got like 7 mana, and it was still ended up being pretty decent.
But in this game right now, it's not happening. He's not getting the right synergy between Payday, between tracks, between gold mines, and he's maybe not going to win the game because of it. I mean, it's a deck that kind of relies on that as a win condition. If you don't find it, maybe you just don't have the tools you need to win the game.
I mean, I think the thing that you would want to do if you're Dog is equip Shield of Aquila on PA, go for a gank on the other PA, or I guess on Axe also works since you get even more armor. But the Cloak will deny that, unfortunately, for him. So the gank will not be able to be taking out the other PA, and can she take out anybody else in this first lane? It looks like LC will die. Actually, both. You can take out either red hero with PA with a gank.
Now,
that gives you enough gold to Payday in the third lane.
MrYagut has 2 Oaths and 3 Assault Ladders in his deck.
Yes.
With the right draws.
Yes. Oh, I know. I know what you're thinking, buddy.
Even if Legion Commander goes to that first lane, well, there is a Berserker's Call, so that could slow it down a bit. But if Dog does not respect the Ancient Kill potential, I think he will.
He will.
He knows the deck list. He knows the kind of what the risks are.
Of course.
And he knows he has to. But then he's losing out on a hero in this lane maybe to try and push it. So MrYagut looking very dominant.
Oh, Assault Ladders. Okay,
not going to push
lane.
any damage right now.
Wow.
It's an investment into the future. But can Dog kind of, invest into the future right now where he needs the board presence right now? The Stonehall kill gets...
That is very surprising from
Stonehall
Dog
gets
to
the
play
kill,
that on that lane.
Starts growing because of the Viscous Nasal Goo coming down on Bounty Hunter. And this is...
And now the Payday is, again, not great.
And if you Payday, you can't get the lethal. You have to get the Elodie Vandal instead to get the perfect lethal. So this is MrYagut trying to push for the Ancient Kill in lane 1. Lane 3 is taken by Dog, and now Dog will have more resources to push into the lane 2. There's only 1 hero stuck in lane 3 for him.
Right.
But the Ancient Kill going first, being in the first lane, is a big factor. And MrYagut can potentially just push
those
it,
are
but
good
those creeps are huge.
Excellent creeps. I don't think PA can go to the first lane. You got to go mid. And actually, excellent creeps in the other lane, in the third lane as well, to block the other Sorla. Okay, so Oath might not even be played this game, potentially, depending on the board state. But this mid lane is an absolute bloodbath.
And MrYagut looks like he is going to be pushing the mid lane, trying to, instead of focusing on the Ancient Kill, he kind of expects Dog to maybe play Legion in that lane. He sees the 2 creeps there. Without the 2 creeps, maybe he says, I'm going to go all in, get a lucky Oath, get a lot of tower damage. This turn, still 40 HP on my mid tower. I can kind of, stall out and save.
The more insane thing is he has initiative. He has coup de grace for the mid lane. In addition, he also has a Fountain Flask to keep one of his other heroes alive. Meanwhile, Dog could only pick up a Blink Dagger, which is going to be great for LC.
Once
come
you
from
see
the
that
first
there
lane
are
to
two
the second.
creeps, that Sorla's not being committed to that lane, you can say,
Yes.
maybe I'm safe for now. You blink out. And
Right.
there isn't kind of a black hero to push damage with the Oath or with the Soul Adders this turn.
Yeah.
You could see maybe a Red Mist Pillager, but not much more than that.
Oh, he's actually going in with Sorla. All right, this is going to be putting a lot of pressure on Dog.
And the coup with initiative
right
could
into
kill,
Sorla.
but the coup will kill the Legion, so if he wants to go Smork,
Do you want to, though? That's not that good.
you have 40 HP on your mid tower still.
That's true.
And you
do
have a Soul
lot.
Adders and the
Yeah.
Oath for next turn with only Bounty Hunter coming
But what
in.
are you doing in this mid lane, then? That's the
You're
question.
just
'cause,
stalling for time.
like, coup plus Fountain Flask is actually incredible, considering, like, look at this hand right now. Of course,
Yeah, he's going to pass.
Yeah, so saving for initiative here.
Just
Berserker's Call is available.
Untested Grunt again. The curve virus hitting all these creeps.
Yeah.
Maybe dying to Legion Commander because of the retaliate.
All
So,
right. He chooses not to use it, which is obviously a good move since...
but the more this game stalls out, the more MrYagut kind of says,
You
you know,
have to
if
kill.
you don't contest lane 1, I'm in lane 1.
Yeah.
I might just win this, you know, slowly, getting 20
There's the
damage. each
coup.
turn.
That is the perfect one because Berserker's Call was in hand, so Dog will have to coup in turn, it looks like. Probably on the PA.
Just to stop some damage from going down into the tower.
Of course, there is a Fountain Flask, so Bristle will be getting this kill in all likelihood onto the PA, unless she blinks away, but that's a lot of damage to be giving up.
The third lane is looking strong for Dog with the 2 creeps. Will do a great job of blocking Sorla,
That's
killing
ridiculous.
and damaging the Gloaty
I
Vandal.
mean, at this point, you must blink Sorla, right?
The track comes down and the
instead of
heal
coup.
comes in after
That's
with
a huge punish.
with the Stonehall Cloak.
Oh.
The huge health pool for Bristleback already. 18 health, no
I
armor
think-
yet, but
all
there
right,
is going
at
to be.
this point, you have to just payday, right? You payday here, you kill 2 creeps, you get 3 more gold. That's 23. That's not enough.
You can gank with Sorla
Yeah,
as
you
well.
can gank.
She will still die, but you can at least get some value out of her. You can gank onto the Phantom Assassin. Actually, no, the Stonehall Cloak will come down for both of these heroes, and both will survive a
Yeah.
gank from Sorla. So very
What about the first lane? Can she take anybody out? She can
well. The
go
Blink
for-
Dagger.
She can blink as well.
Dog
yeah.
can Blink
I mean,
Dagger.
she has to, right?
Well, you can Blink Dagger the Sorla for the 10 attack, and then gank the mid lane, and then Sorla would still die. But at least he charges, you know, stalls the mid lane a tiny bit. Bounty Hunter goes to the mid lane, but then the first lane's empty, so it's scary.
Another track, but like you said, that Stonehall Cloak is going to kick in for an extra 2 HP. But the Blink Dagger actually is enough, right, to get the kill. They're going to end up trading. So it'll be a trade, but it'll be worth it if he can find a Thunderhide or a Horn of the Alpha. But it's only Bounty Hunter coming back, and I think this might just be over. This first lane is just out of control. I mean, either lane, honestly.
And we mentioned the gold strategy yesterday. Dog, I think, played very well, but I also think he had a lot of draws that went in his favor. His game plan was executed every single game perfectly. He could not have any complaints about how he drew and how he was able to play the game against his opponents. In this game, we see the awkwardness of having 2 tracks in hand.
That's every game of my life, right
2
here.
tracks, a payday
Yeah.
that's not working out, a Shield of Aquila that's great but not game-winning, a Horn of the Alpha that hasn't come online by turn 3 or turn 4 because you don't really have the gold either.
Right,
If you gank here, you can't payday.
right.
This is the
And
awkwardness
even if you
of the
pay
gold
it, you
deck.
end up with 23 gold. So, well,
And you're forced to defend 2 lanes.
actually, you do end up with 25 if you let Sorla die, because you kill the creep. So you get 2 gold for these creeps plus 3 from Iron Fog. And payday makes it, yeah, exactly.
But then you have a
25.
Bounty Hunter to defend.
But yeah, that's the
A
problem.
mid lane that's already at
I mean,
16.
you can't afford to do that. You have to blink Sorla into another lane.
The only silver lining here is that there isn't a black hero at the moment. Could maybe not go for the Horn of the Alpha here. I think this is maybe the correct play. You can't really invest in Horn of the Alpha this late. It's not going to save you the game.
it's
You're going to
not-
just lose.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, you can hope for like a vesture, but you already have the 20 gold for that. So
You have to blink the Sorla to the mid lane and just try and continue defending here.
Yeah.
Without a black hero in the first lane, there isn't a chance, I think, to lose this turn to the Ancient Kill. There's only 2 red heroes, so there isn't the Oath possibility or the Assault Ladders coming in. And creeps can still spawn in that lane to kind of stop the damage. We see two creeps for
and of course he
MrYagut.
can't play Oath or anything in the first lane, right?
Exactly.
So only have to worry about Bounty Hunter from MrYagut's perspective, which
We
has
see
to go mid.
The
You know
double
that.
deploy going mid, just try and just stay strong in that middle lane. There's an Gloaty Vandal though. That's
Yeah.
straight damage to the tower. It's already at 16. So we could maybe see a Spring the Trap draw even from lane 1 to lane 2.
Or you can just keep initiative and hope you draw a Berserker's Call,
That is
which
also
wins
true.
the game. Yeah, there's a lot of outs here for Myra.
And very few.
I keep calling Myra, my God.
And very few for Dog. I haven't explained to you how the name was created.
I know. I've talked to him specifically about his name. He's like, I know it's very confusing. So
And
I don't
two
feel so
curves
bad.
here do not help this ancient potential.
Golden ticket. Golden ticket. It's time. You got to play it. And what wins you? Vesture. You need Vesture.
There's a Blink Dagger. Also, for MrYagut, he can lose initiative.
Yeah.
Doesn't really have the play. I mean, he has Gank, I guess, but Gank wouldn't do too much in lane 2. Both of these black heroes very strong as well. Although PA is at 9 strength,
This hand is not ideal.
it's not a game-winning or a game-ending hand, really, but it could still end because of the low health on that middle
Right.
tower. The Blink from Axe, no red spells whatsoever, so only black spells available. There's a coup from Dog. If Dog coups the Phantom Assassin, which is the only black hero on the board right now because of this 3 red, 2 black hero ratio, it locks MrYagut out of any place.
Exactly.
He could play Phase Boots, try and look for face damage, but potentially going to not close out the game this turn just yet. And again, this Ancient is looking still quite
It's
healthy.
looking fine. These creeps are doing their job, tanking up real nicely. So there's the blink. We're not going to see the golden ticket come out, although he could have done it after the equip probably, but not taking any chances. We've kind of seen some fake outs this tournament, but not going to take any chances. He wants to get that.
You could always coup and then golden ticket. There isn't going to really be anything to stop him.
I mean, he's going to lose the golden ticket. Let's be real.
So, Suns fan,
That's what it's there for, buddy. You know?
Suns fan, don't do this to
Just
me.
watch.
We're going to finally see golden ticket.
You need to watch and learn. Okay.
Phase Boots pushing damage instead to this tower instead of trying to find
sure.
maybe lethal in this next lane.
All right. Here comes the coup.
Or not. Don't get ahead of yourself.
And the loss of golden ticket incoming.
There's still 14 damage
I mean, what you want is to lose
this
track.
tower. If Dog goes for the coup, he's not blocking any damage.
Yes, that's true. And he would just lose.
MrYagut.
Oh, no, he wouldn't because you lock out black. He doesn't know this, of course. Let's try to think of this from his perspective. What are you afraid of? You're afraid of Berserker's Call. Yeah.
The coup has to be on Legion, and now you have the Oath and Assault Ladders in this lane.
Yeah.
Only Stonehold Lead attacking tower. It won't be enough. It'll be 12.
Oh, you just throw Glody into Oath.
That is true.
That is 8 damage.
That'll be a kill, unless Golden Ticket has something to say about this.
Oh, my God. What is it? What is it? What is it?
The worst item in the game!
Oh,
it's Keen Folk
Plate. Why?
And that is why Golden Ticket is sometimes bad. MrYagut takes game 1.
How much is that item?
A lot, but it's very bad. It's the worst.
It's like 7 gold, and golden ticket's like 9.
I think it's more. Isn't Keen Folk the really good armor item with like +4? It's a very bad item.
It doesn't give +4, that's for sure. It's Timbersaw's passive, basically. It's +1 armor plus however many targets.
That is true.
So it's up
still,
to 4.
Yeah, it's about 8 gold.
It's pretty bad. It's
MrYagut takes game 1. We mentioned it, Dog. His deck could end up being very awkward because of kind of the clunkiness of the gold synergy.
I want to see. We're going to start the game right away, by the way. I want to see him get a super fast Horn of the Alpha, so we can get to see these big boys on the field.
If you want to compare,
Ooh, this is nice though. This is really nice.
If you want to compare kind of the two sides of the coin with this deck, just rewatch the games yesterday that Dog played in his group. Every single game went in his favor in terms of his game plan succeeding early on.
All right, we're going to be getting a lot of gold influx.
Double gold mine
so
is
this
very
nice.
strong. No payday yet. Could draw into it. There are 3 paydays in his list, so a very high chance. Really going all in on this gold strategy.
Iron Fog, if you guys weren't here yesterday, has kind of fallen out of favor for the most part. It's kind of considered an old school improvement, but if you can get it early, it is incredibly good.
No curve this time,
No
so
curve.
now we don't see the virus here that we saw last game. The creeps are all attacking tower instead, going more for face damage. And Dog with 3 gold. Not a ton.
I'm glad we get to see his shop this time around. That's nice. So just gonna buy. That's fine. Just cycle through, so you have better chance of getting something good next time.
And having only 1 black hero on the flop kind of prevents the double gold line from coming down early, which would have been a great use of mana early on to open up the Glody Vandal and the gang plays this turn. Instead, going to be a little bit more awkward because of the single black hero. So maybe you could risk. I mean, you can't risk having Sorla on the flop. You need her coming in on the turn.
Yeah, but for MrYagut, that is ideal. Very wide lane. Of course,
it's
unfortunate that's the 3rd lane. But
there's a chance the creep does match with the Sorla.
There's a chance, but it's the best odds.
And Dog Sorla is looking much worse.
Yes.
And the Bronze Legionnaire helps in widening that lane.
Ooh, so he knows that Sorla is going there. He wants to increase the chances.
There's a double chance now.
Just using Sorla as a body more than anything right now. And, all right, creep blocks.
So the creep comes in clutch for Dog. Going to stall out a lot of damage in that last lane. There's a lot of black plays, and there's the payday.
Yeah.
But there's 0 gold in Dog's.
Oh, I forgot. He only had 1 black here on the flop, so more Iron Fog Gold Mine can be played here.
And now a duel is available for Axe. Not going to do too much in that middle lane, and the rest is all very early game black plays, but you can't play them all. Again, you lost out on playing the Fog Mine last turn.
Yep.
And now it's looking, you know, a tiny bit awkward this turn. A lot of plays to make, a lot to think about.
Yeah, where could a gank be helpful here?
The gank could hit the Sorlakan.
Do you have the cloak? Yeah, I think I like that. Although she's kind of covered right now. I mean, does he run hipfire or anything or pick off in this deck?
MrYagut does not.
So no way to really get rid of the creep. We're going to see the gank onto Axe instead. So PA will live with 1 HP.
This is the classic PA gank onto something like an Axe, something like a Bounty Hunter without the proc yet, you know, because it's in a different lane, and the proc does happen before the action phase. So great, you know, gank and Phantom Assassin work very well together. We see there exactly why. There's the Viscous Nasal coming down on the Axe. This is a modify effect, so it happens, you know, the earlier it happens, the better you get the full value. And
Axe is no longer a tanky boy.
And 4 damage from creeps. Normally it's 0. Yeah. All of that Viscous Nasal.
That's a big turnaround.
Very clutch.
And it's not like he had much else to play anyway, so it's always nice to get those out of your hand and get good value. So that's a melee creep, by the way. I keep doing that.
The Bristleback can duel next turn onto this Axe because it will be at 7 health. It'll be without armor as well, so that could be an option for MrYagut next turn. Berserker's Call still 2 turns away in a very late game oriented hand for MrYagut. 2 Berserker's Call, Time of Triumph, and Coup de Grace.
It's really unfortunate that Dog hasn't had a good opportunity to play these Iron Fogs. You really want to get them out of your hand early. Do you think he goes for Tyler Estate here instead of the Iron Fog? Looks like that's the case.
He does. He's going to trade with a minion on the right.
Very strong.
Gloaty Vandal could have also traded with the Bronze Legionnaire, but maybe saving that for the Sorlakan trade next turn, which is at 4 health. And now a hero deployment for each player. Bounty Hunter for Dog.
Gonna cycle through some more, or you're saving for that payday? He's very close to having enough to just double it up to get that Horn of the Alpha, so he's really thinking about not buying anything this time. But the Hell Itself does look nice.
As long as you have 11, 12, I think that's enough to, you know, kind of guarantee it. With a payday, you can get a few creep kills, and that's enough to have the
yeah, I was going to say Healing Salve might be way too value this time around. I mean, the third lane just by itself, Sorla, more so LC in need, in the first lane as well. PA, of course, with only 1 HP at the moment.
2 creeps going into MrYagut's lane 3. That could be a huge thing in not only blocking but doing some damage to both of those heroes, like you said. A little bit weak for Dog.
Yeah, and a 1 out of 2 here in terms of creep blocking Sorla again in that third lane. Looks like Bounty will be going towards the mid. LC yet to be chosen here for MrYagut. No lane really looking that favorable, though. I mean, this third lane is a big contention point, but the fact that there's a Tyler State sensor perhaps scares you off a bit. He's guaranteeing the spot in front of Axe. Interesting.
The PAs just dodging each other. The first lane, not a very exciting lane. PAs don't do much damage to towers, so.
I see a lot of PAs just alone in the lane.
It's happening a lot.
Yeah.
Just variance.
All right, some late game there for Dog once he gets there. Of course, you have to think Iron Fog comes down after this Healing Salve.
The Oath is drawn for MrYagut. There isn't really, I mean, the third lane looks great, but all of those creatures are going to be dying this turn, so the lane looks a lot worse. It's not really
They do a lot
of
damage, though.
That is true.
They end up trading everything.
There's a double gold mine. Again, the gold mines don't really matter where you place them. The only real call is to play around Touch Defensive, which MrYagut does not run. You're not going to play the shopping phase in between towers, so
that's a good Janata.
And now you can do the 2-for-1 trade here. Bristleback into Axe with a duel. And then the Bristleback into Bounty Hunter. There is a Traveler's Cloak and 2 items actually in Dog's hand, so MrYagut has to be very careful how he plays this turn.
Very careful indeed. And payday might be coming in that third lane.
Stonehall Elite could also curve here.
You might need to play Oglotti actually over here to
block
it last turn. Is there any way that you payday now?
Yeah.
I mean, do you think that's his only win condition to get Horn of the Alpha? It's like his, percentage-wise, I would say it's like 80% of the time you need to get Horn to win with this deck, right?
Kind of, yeah.
It feels like it, at least.
A Gloaty Vandal could come down here instead to trade with that Stonehall Elite. Traveler's Cloak will save the bounty, so the trades are kind of going for both players here, the hero trades.
Might expend the Healing Salve as well. Do you say salve or salve?
Salve.
It's, the pronunciation is salve.
It might be, yeah.
But I refuse. I'm glad we're on the same page.
I don't know English quite, very well, so.
Quite very well? Sounds like it. I mean, I think you definitely payday here and then Oglotti in front of Sorlakan. That's the safest route.
The Stonehall Elite can get out of hand very easily.
You're losing a lot of gold, though, if you don't payday. If you payday in the third lane, right? So
Oh, the duel comes out instead.
All right.
So that's probably the better option, actually. Actually going to die anyway.
The one option we didn't go.
You can heal it as well, plus
Exactly.
6, but it will still die because of the lack of armor. I mean, the armor on Axe is huge, so we see the Viscous Nasal go again. Coming in clutch for MrYagut.
He lives with 1.
Yeah, it does live by 1. Yeah,
He doesn't have the banana in hand.
Retaliate only going to do 2 damage and the 6 damage from Leech Commander normally.
Yeah, you're going to have to pay it in. You really want to wait for that extra kill, but you can't get too greedy. If you get too greedy, you're just going to get blown out.
So Dog turns around that turn completely.
Yeah, that's a great turn.
We said turn a lot in that,
turn.
In that sequence. But Gloody Vandal will trade with the Solar Khan, get some more gold, and now with 35 gold plus.
You might want to Oath here. This is weird, I know.
Yeah.
But you trade everything, and you know there's no items in hand, so it's just a trade straight up. Then you can give up this lane afterwards. You don't come back if you're MrYagut. That's what he's considering here. +4 attack on everything, just trades beautifully.
You have no black heroes next turn, though, so not going to utilize the Oath's effect at all into an empty lane.
I think you're not coming back to this lane, though.
And there are no items in hand for Dog. He has used all his items in the last lane, so there's and mana has been mostly spent, so yeah.
He's doing
Oath comes down.
All right, I like it.
Big trade here.
Oh, the Bronze Legionnaire lives.
Huh? 28 HP on the tower, still a little bit healthy, but Dog, 43 gold.
All right, there it is.
That's the first one.
You got it, banana. All right.
And clearing his shop completely.
Yeah.
Very few items left, so once he gets more gold online, a few more hero kills, maybe a second payday, he can start developing his gold strategy even more. We mentioned the last game. He did not draw or did not buy the Horn of the Alpha. He lost the game.
Right.
This game, maybe he can win it because of this buy.
He does not have a great target for the Horn, though, because first lane you're scared about coup de grace. Second lane you're scared about
Berserker's
Call.
And we're at 6 mana. This is kind of the time where you don't really want to buy this, and you don't have a hero that's alone in the lane.
This is scary, because if you're MrYagut, you know he bought it, and you're just waiting for that mana to be expended if you're Dog to be able to play it. Otherwise, you just have to hold it, feels like. It really sucks.
And that's awkward. I mean, we saw.
I mean, you could do something crazy and just go for the potential blink to the third lane, but
then MrYagut can maybe follow you as well.
Yeah, that's true. You do know he has a blink
and
dagger
you could get the Oath value on the third lane. You wouldn't be able to coup de grace though, so it would be unfortunate. But there's some Oath value there to be had.
Right.
2 creeps.
Yeah.
+4 on each, plus the hero that's attacking the Phantom Assassin as well.
But we're looking at hand. There's 2 Berserker's
You
Calls,
don't need extra damage here either.
Yeah, I think you just duel here.
I would love to see a coup de grace here. Eliminates this blink. You blink your own Phantom Assassin to the third lane with the Oath, and that's it. You don't play damage, but you get a lot of tower damage.
I think if you're going to do that, you might as well just duel instead.
Yeah, you can duel.
You don't want to discard a blink or anything like that. I mean, your cards are super high value right now. Like every single card you want. Very good hand for MrYagut.
The duel works. The healing salve would not help here. Gonna, +6 would keep it at 7, which is going to be perfect for the Axe. The Axe will survive the duel. Although you do maybe want, I mean, you have the tools in lane 2 as well with a coup if you save it to stop the Horn of the Alpha as well. So,
okay, Berserker's Call. Since he has 2 in hand, that makes sense as well.
And I would love to see a blink here to lane 3.
Yeah.
Maybe it doesn't happen, but I'd love to see it.
I agree. Going to put on a cloak beforehand.
The mana could not be spent, and the blink dagger comes
on. I love it. I love it.
And there it is. The
Excellent.
Oath coming in clutch. Bronze Engineer does survive. The extra damage on both of those units, and the Oath could maybe, decide that third lane by itself. Of course, gank can be played from that lane. Only improvements because of how the Oath works. Has a great upside, but also a very sacrificial downside. And Horn of the Alpha is still available.
Yeah, and he just, I mean, maybe you just Berserker's Call and just
Horn of the
clean
Alpha,
it out,
Horn of the
suicide
Alpha
your Axe, and replace the Traveler's Cloak. I think that's probably the most clear line of play here for Dog, to try to take any lane at this point, because he's, I mean, we talked about the importance of getting the Horn of the Alpha, but you have to use it as well. Buying it is not enough.
And now if Dog makes the terrible mistake of equipping the item first, Berserker's Call, that's the correct play.
Indeed.
And now Dog takes complete control over this lane. You can equip the Horn of the Alpha, get this first Thunderhide pack online, start dealing damage to this tower, and almost take it down.
Yeah, it's going to be
or
up
actually,
to 21, I think.
So 31.
Yeah.
Very close.
A short sword as well.
Yeah. Even closer.
Even closer. So that it's going to be perfect lethal, actually. He did the math.
Extremely close. So
whoa!
Never mind. So Horn of the Alpha not coming down.
Wow. Well, you don't have lethal here because you have no items in hand. That is very surprising. But I guess he feels very comfortable that he's going to be getting that lane anyway, so saving the horn for the first. And MrYagut has the initiative, though, so coup de grace still in hand. He just holds his mana and waits for it.
And
I think
looks
that's the play.
MrYagut is going to go all in on lane 1, leaving lane 2 completely clear. So both players now focusing on lane 1, but Dog has the upside that he has the Horn of the Alpha to be using as a resource that doesn't cost mana. So you can make a huge play and also use your mana as well.
All right, we're going to have a showdown in this first lane. It looks like it's going to come down to this one.
Berserker's Call not great for these red heroes on MrYagut's side.
So coup de grace in hand, of course, for MrYagut. He's not in Time of Triumph range as of yet.
You could kill the Legion. The duel's also available.
Yeah, Bristleback would be very healthy to get a duel off here. No extra damage for Sorla, though, to be able to take out the Legion commander. You could also just equip Stonehall Cloak on Legion to prevent a death to a duel of Dog.
But now I think MrYagut knows that the Horn of the Alpha is in hand. He has to wait. He has to stall it out until MrYagut uses the Horn of the Alpha. But again, there is kill potential with Berserker's Call onto that Sorla Khan. And coup de grace will be locked out of this turn because there are only red heroes available. The Stonehall Cloak stops this for now.
Right, and if you put Horn on, I'm trying to see from Dog's perspective, if you duel with Bristleback, it will kill the Sorla Khan unless this is attached to the Horn of the Alpha now.
Both players stalling here, trying to wait.
He's just worried about coup de grace. That's it. And MrYagut's in the driver's seat, right? Because he doesn't need to do anything.
And he has currently 15 damage going to tower, so if both players pass because they want to stall, he just passes as well and just continues. This Horn of the Alpha is not going to be equipped.
He's doing 15 damage in this tower right now. He's super happy.
With an Naglodi in hand as well, and again could potentially seal the deal next turn instead. Although 2 heroes coming in deployment for Dog would potentially be a problem.
And this is pretty high value Fountain Flask on Axe as well if you want to keep stalling. But yeah, I think this is going to come down to Dog having to just equip the item, and he's just going to get cooed. And that's pretty much it.
There's the continued stall from MrYagut trying to...
Now, the other thing, sorry to interrupt, if he puts Horn on LC and she gets coup de grace, the game's just over. You just take the tower this turn.
Yep.
So if you're going to do it, you got to do it on Sorla, and then obviously we know what's going to happen. Pretty tough position to be in. If you just had a short sword, it would make a huge difference right now. Now, you could just go for the blocks with Mercenary Exiles, which might actually be the play.
Yeah, might be it.
Because then you force either a call, which uses the mana, so you can't coup anymore, or you just don't take any damage to the tower. I think you have to block with Mercenaries. And that's what we're going to start with.
That's going to be it. I think it's the safest play for Dog. I think he knows that at this point there must be a coup de grace available for MrYagut, or even potentially an item and then a duel or Berserker's Call, or rather a duel, would maybe get a kill as well. So it is looking like just going to be a block, just a stall from Dog, and the rest of the lanes going to be a tower kill here for Dog in lane 2, and a tower kill in lane 3 for MrYagut. So very even lanes, but the Oath is still available in lane 3. That could potentially be an ancient kill if the stall continues in lane 1. 2 heroes coming online for Dog. Could be kind of a stalemate in lane 1.
Right.
Although, Time of Triumph for both players available. We could see a tie as well.
Yeah, this could be one of those games, absolutely.
We had a very fast day until now, so maybe the players trying to punish.
Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, this is the thing about Dog, too. You can use all your mana, but Horn of the Alpha doesn't cost anything. So MrYagut kind of just has to pass, I feel like.
And in the case of a stall, it would kind of benefit Dog because that Horn of the Alpha can go, once it's online, it's on a body. Once the coup is maybe expanded somewhere else, you can use it every 2 turns. So the longer this game goes, the more value you get from that Horn of the Alpha.
Each player would really like to have a short sword.
Now, stalling has a punishment. The time is going down for both players, both at 1 minute.
Okay, we're keeping an eye on that.
Not dangerous right now, but we've seen many things happen in this tournament.
Yes, indeed.
And they can continue happening.
That is sad but true. Initiative is still with MrYagut as well, which actually isn't that great of a thing right now, in all honesty. Because you want Dog to do something. You want him to pass.
A Berserker's Call could clear. Could clear the board.
This is such an interesting board state.
But then the mana would be expended and the Horn could come online. And MrYagut, he knows 100% the Dog has this.
Oh, yeah.
There is no doubt in his mind. He knows what the deck list is. He knows there was 43 gold at one point in hand for Dog. And both players just going to pass here. And Dog kind of has the upper hand.
What did he just do? He just played a cloak.
Right.
Okay. Okay, here comes the duel. So this takes away, there's no coup and there's no call. So you definitely equip Horn of the Alpha now, and you replace the Traveler's Cloak.
But the Thunderhide pack goes into that creep, so it's not that bad.
All right.
And MrYagut may be getting bored of the situation, wanted to advance past the stall, decides, you know, I'm just gonna duel this Swirlicon, show him the dominant, and the Gloaty Vandal comes down, and I think the situation was
the area you want, though.
It wasn't the benefit of Dog, because the stall, he could use his mana, whereas his opponent couldn't. And if this continues going on, then MrYagut is just in a position where he can't do anything, and he might end up losing because of it. So I like the duel there for MrYagut. Get some damage, gets the Gloaty Vandal on the board as well. And the next turn, hopefully a lot more interesting than this one.
Assault Ladder is going to be placed in the first lane. So if Dog cannot get lethal, which he's going to have 3 heroes in that lane with Time of Triumph, so that's 12 Siege plus the 6 from the Thunderhide pack. That's enough to actually get the kill, as long as he can get it off.
And there's no Slay for MrYagut.
But he does it. Okay, here's the thing, though. He has Coup de Grace, right? So taking out 1 hero, will that be enough to prevent actual lethal to the tower?
We'll have to see the creeps coming into lane 1.
Let's see what the board state is first.
Gold has been spent from both players. Phase Boots for MrYagut could potentially open up a lethal on Dog's tower as well. 1 creep for Dog, so favored in the creep exchange there. There'll be an equal amount of units for both. Siege damage will come down from both players, from the Thunderhide pack and Time of Triumph if both are played.
Yeah, so Dog's looking okay, actually. Potentially.
There's a coup still in hand for MrYagut. Can take down 1 hero. Can push damage if he takes on the Legion Commander in front of Sorla, for example.
He's going to be 2 off lethal, Dog is, if he Time of Triumphs and loses 1 hero to coup. But he'll get it next round. There's no guarantee that MrYagut can get it. He has 4 heroes, so that's going to be 16 damage to the tower.
Berserker's Call locks MrYagut out of black. The heroes will trade, though. Probably not a good idea. Just mentioning it could happen.
Well, call from the Bristleback.
Time of
He's
Triumph.
Gonna have to go for Time of Triumph. Okay, so 16 damage to the tower thanks to Siege. So now, from Dog's perspective, is there a way to win this turn?
You Time of Triumph as well.
Time of Triumph. Oh, because he didn't use coup. That's right. He didn't play around it.
Wow. And there's the lethal for Dog. So MrYagut not respecting Time of Triumph from Dog.
His brain just hurt at that point.
Yeah, that may be it, because that was maybe a time where you want to stall, see what your opponent wants to do. And I mean, you can expect a Time of Triumph in red-black. You know Dog's list. You know what it runs, what the kind of finisher can be. So in the end, the tie there from Dog got the Horn of the Alpha.
No,
won the game.
The win.
Well, the tie in the series, I mean.
Oh, the tie in the series.
Suns fan, we need some better synergy here.
Yeah, we're doing just fine, buddy. We're doing just fine. He got Horn of the Alpha and he won. That's kind of how
that's how it works.
Built, right?
And now we're going to go to the last game of the series, end of the day, and of the round of 16 of this bracket phase.
It's going to be a showdown of PAs to start with. No Iron Fog Gold Mines to start with, though. So that, I have to say, the 2 Iron Fog Gold Mines are actually the biggest reason that he ended up getting the Horn of the Alpha.
And he ended up drawing 2 paydays as well. A little bit clunky at the start, but got the turn 3 Horn of the Alpha, I believe it was, which is very, very strong. A Soul Ladder's coming in with a wide board for Dog. Nice. This could be a Sorlicon lane in the next turn. Both PAs do die there. And Legion Commander, Bristleback.
Arrow?
No arrow. MrYagut lost all the curve powers after the first game. Axes do dodge each other as well, and not much going on here. But that could be a Sorla lane for Dog.
Yeah, I think, and you kind of have to put Sorla there as well for MrYagut. You can't just give that up right now, which sucks because you're going to be hitting creeps most likely. Or if you hit the other Sorla, then that's okay. You can live with that. But 6 gold on Dog. So if he gets a Traveler's Cloak, actually going to be a pretty big deal if they face up against each other.
Duel available for Dog as well. He has a Soul Ladders again. A Soul Ladders is okay as an early play, but not very impactful on the board. You might need to get more control over it, but that first lane looks very, very good for Dog already.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's going to have to go to the first lane. We'll see what the... Oh, and the arrows might end up really hurting here.
Phantom Assassin died as well for the turn 1, so the ganks lose a little bit of power. I mean, the 8 attack on the Sorlicon, she isn't really the hero killer hero in this deck, in this archetype, and gank won't be as effective. Tyler State, though, very, very good for whoever has initiative, so a little bit better if MrYagut would have had initiative here. Dog can waste his mana before Tyler State comes down, so it's not going to be as effective.
So anyway, you just kill the other Sorla with gank. Just take them both out.
This is a very, very aggressive start from Dog.
So either you completely just take your Sorla out along with hers, just
You
trade,
could
or you
Stonehall
just Tyler
Cloak
State.
and then gank.
That's true. He has no mana to
Could
use.
be the option.
That's true. That's definitely
And
the
no
play.
items either for Dog, so
Yeah.
the deck that kind of, or Tyler State instead.
Wow, he's letting her hit the tower.
Yeah, that is very surprising. Sorla would die to the trade with the creep though, but you do still take an extra creep down.
Yeah,
with
you want to get rid of as many creeps as you can in this state, right?
And you
That
saw
is
that
very
you saw that
surprising.
lane down quite a bit.
Wow.
Now Stonehall League could come down here, could curve, and it does.
All right, excellent job, MrYagut. You've done it. You
And
figured
now-
out the secrets to Richard Garfield's heart.
This lane trades the heroes, but still very strong board presence from the Stonehall League and the Mercenary Exiles, which could be pumped up by MrYagut later on. Doesn't really have a huge item finisher, so could be using that gold to pump up that creep instead.
Yeah, another viscous nasal goo being used on Axe, which was proved to be very effective last game. All right, so 13 gold for Dog, not quite at where he. Oh, golden
8
ticket.
HP on lane 1 already, though.
Yeah, it's
That is scary.
I am super surprised that.
The gank did not come down.
Yes, that is very, very questionable. But he might have another plan in play. You never know. To try to retake this lane, although PA is going mid, so maybe he's just giving up on this lane.
And no creeps as well, so nothing going to block this Sorla from going face, as well as the Gloaty Vandal also going face. So no curves just yet. We'll see
And
once
this is like really good for Dog because he, obviously his deck can be aggressive at taking down towers, but it's not its main priority. As opposed to MrYagut, where that is your main priority. You've already lost a tower essentially. So Dog is in very good position so far.
And not only that, Assault Ladders is developed on lane 1. There's a second one in hand. That could be an ancient potential
Yeah,
in
absolutely.
the next few turns. If MrYagut does actually abandon the lane and say, you know, forget about this, I'm not going to deal with it. It's lane 1. It has kind of the priority in terms of order, even if MrYagut pushes down lane 2 and 3. And this Bounty Hunter might indicate that this could be Dog kind of investing in this ancient kill instead. Never mind.
Never mind. He changed his mind. It's
He
fine.
boozled us.
I think going mid is definitely safer, considering this tower is. I mean, he's assuming that some heroes are going to be going to the first lane based on that move of putting Tyler State down, but not the case. And Sorla again is hitting the tower, and right now MrYagut has. I mean, technically, he can do the same thing that was available last turn, which is the gank. Which I mean, oh, there's the Ogloaty.
The Gloaty won't trade perfectly with the Sorla Khan.
Right.
I think the gank here does make some sense. You do trade, but the Tyler State Sensor does kill the creep, and the Gloaty does deal 4 damage, but the tower is saved for now at least.
If you do this now, why didn't you do it last turn is the question.
And there are items in hand now for Dog. The gold was spent.
Yeah.
Sorla Khan could be saved. Initiative is in the favor of Dog, so the
Oh, going in the gank in the mid lane, it looks like. So Bounty Hunter will trade with Sorla, so he is actually just giving up on this.
he's giving it up. And now the Assault Ladders could come in clutch for Dog. Slowly, he could start chipping away at this
Oh,
tower.
this is a very scary lane, absolutely.
and being
the
in
fact
lane
that
1 as well.
you don't have that much mana isn't really that big of a deal. Like a lot of the cards you want to play are Assault Ladders and Ganks. That's 3, 4 mana cards. Coup de grace is really the only big one, but you've already taken the tower. You don't care. You don't need to coup anybody.
And now MrYagut going to focus down lane 2 and 3. Going to ignore lane 1 altogether. This lane does look pretty okay. You have the Gloaty Vandal coming down. Could curve into the Phantom Assassin. Doesn't do much, though. And for the lane 3, though, not really any great spells for this early game. Viscous Nasal Goo again onto this Axe. Will kill it this turn.
No one.
Are you just going to blink out, potentially?
Surely not.
It's going to be
I mean-
6 damage to the tower with the creep. He could Assault Ladders as well
Yeah.
before he leaves.
That would be enough. That would be, you know, exact. Actually, no, it wouldn't be exactly. Oh,
Yeah, it
yeah, it
would.
would be. It would be. +4 from the Soul Ladder on the Gloaty Vandal. Gloaty Vandal is attacking the towers. Would be exactly 8 damage.
So
and
what is he trying to play this?
Your tower is in
Well,
Yeah.
after this, I mean. He
I
has
think that's
nothing to
it.
play now,
he
though.
just blinks here.
Yeah, so no more black cards can be played this round with the 5 mana on the rest of the towers. We'll be going mid to contest and take out creeps.
And I like this as well. I mean, I think with the Soul Ladders, you don't really have as much aggro potential. You don't have the Oath. You don't have Disciples.
Yeah.
You can't really push for the Ancient realistically. And at any time, maybe 3 turns from now, MrYagut can just step in with 1 hero and stall it out for a few turns. So
Right.
there isn't really the huge potential to do that.
I'll make good use of this.
Right.
Again, not much plays here from MrYagut either. A Gloaty Vandal can come down just to, you know, get a wider board presence. But Dog does have 2 heroes here. No spells to cast, but still a lot of dominance over this lane. Also taking down the Mercenary Exiles. Could be pumped up, but not enough to kill this Solar
It
Con.
wouldn't do much. Especially considering you have Traveler's Cloak, which is now on PA, actually.
And that may be too committal there because the
arrows.
basically nasal goo does come down onto the axe, and that will be a kill there. There will not be a Traveler's Cloak available to heal the axe up or give it a bigger health pool. Town Portal Scroll could come down, and this could mean that Dog gives up this lane.
Yeah, at this rate, I think you're giving.
And he
up this lane
focuses
anyway.
only on lane 2.
But he does
plays
put a
Stonehall
Stonehall lead. I mean, that could be an annoying unit, even if it's just by itself, so it's not the worst thing in the world.
Now we'll see if the TP comes on. Axe is looking like he's going to die to this Legion Commander because of that. The second. So Axe, instead of 2 armor, -2 armor.
Yeah, he's a Nevermore creep now.
And this could really matter later on for the Berserker's Calls, for the duels. This makes Axe much more vulnerable.
Yeah, anytime he's going to Berserker Call in the future is basically a suicide at this point. TPing will obviously save the death and only do 6 damage to the tower. It's not that big of a deal.
MrYagut pushing damage on this tower, but he has 2 heroes stuck here, whereas there are no heroes for Dog. He has a tower already,
he can
and
go
MrYagut
all
does
5
not.
mid here.
Exactly, and that's going to be very hard to stop, especially when you're at 6 mana.
Does
2
get the
turns
2
from now.
creeps, though, so that's nice for him. And Bristleback will probably go there as well.
2 turns from now. Time of Triumph comes online with 5 heroes. As long as you get this lane down to 20, you already win the game, basically.
Yeah. Oh, Bristleback actually thinking about going to the first lane. I would be very surprised by that. Dog actually proving us wrong that maybe he doesn't need Horn of the Alpha to actually win this game. He's looking very, very good.
There was a questionable non-gank in the second turn, though, which may have saved a lot of damage and potentially the first lane tower. So we'll have to see the replays there. But MrYagut now has to defend this middle lane. It's going to be very, very tough.
Yeah, Berserker's Call now online for Dog. He has it in hand. MrYagut has to draw it. He has basically nothing playable other than the coup, which will take only 1 out of the 4 heroes out. I mean, that's obviously a huge commitment from Dog, but there's no reason not to do this. There's no way to actually punish it with no AoE.
When there's 1 hero in the lane, you play the coup, you get rid of that hero and also deny any spells that can be played. That's huge.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, take back everything we said. All right, wow.
And the punishment with a double curve from the creeps.
You deserve it. At this point.
It's Tyler State.
Wow, that is so surprising.
Not making any friends and...
Oh, Red Mist is? Oh, that's not for him, though. Give him the Red Mist. Trade him.
I'll trade you a Red Mist Pillager for Time of Triumph. There's no trading in Artifact, Suns fan. There's no trading in this game. Please focus. Legion Commander.
You got a duel here.
10 damage to the tower. So this is Ancient Kill. We mentioned it. It could be too slow. I mean, 10 damage to the tower. That's not a lot.
Yeah, but it's 2 red heroes, too, which is weird. And you're putting both black heroes in the mid lane, which is very strange. You have to use duel. I definitely think this is the right move once you've committed to this. But how much damage is it going to end up being?
You do have double Soul Ladder. It's going to be... That's a bit more.
Okay, that's more than I thought. I'm not going to lie. That's more. That's a lot more than I thought.
The math checks out.
Put down Mercenary XL. Let's go. Let's go. I'm all in for this now.
You have 2 gold, so you can pump this up with 1 gold to get that crispy 42 attack, which
do it. 43 actually.
44 actually.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect.
And this could be actually decisive because if you have the same board state and a creep comes in and blocks your creep, this extra attack this turn could potentially mean a 2-turn Ancient Kill. So
and you have duel and you have Berserker's Call.
We're laughing now, but this may be the win.
This is the game-winning play. I wouldn't have made it. I would have lost this game. Pretty much simple as that.
Could come down next turn. Could play a coup and could kind of stop this quite a bit. And also creep spawns could potentially block a lot of damage as well.
Dog's deck looking like the true aggro here out of nowhere because of these assault ladder draws and like we talked about the gank not coming into play.
But MrYagut.
Yes.
24 HP tower for Dog.
It's true.
16 HP tower for Dog.
Yeah.
There's no weapon for MrYagut, and there's a Red Mist Pillager. So Red Mist Pillager can't come down lane 3 because it would die to the creep. A coup could come down here to get some tower damage, but it's just not enough. So Strollicon would have to have the incredible job of instead of going aggro into a tower,
exact lethal though,
defending a tower.
See what Dog responds with. He only has coup to play, so he will definitely use it.
The phase boost does nothing.
The phase, I saw you gasp. I'm like, what is there? Yeah, unfortunately that, I mean, we talked about this Stonehall Elite being put, that's actually potentially game winning.
100%.
Right? So coup de grace onto the PA. He loses a Time of Triumph, which he already has another one in hand.
Stops the lethal.
Indeed.
But now, 6 damage, lane 2.
Yeah.
1 HP, lane 3.
Actually, you could have had lethal.
Could you?
No. Never mind. No. Phase boost the creep, bro. Why can't you equip creeps?
New meta, okay.
Oh,
creeps wasted. You don't need those creeps
Yeah,
there.
that's a big waste.
And now Strollicon has the job, the responsibility
of tanking,
of defending a tower instead of taking one down.
That's a good.
The tables have turned.
That's a good target to block.
There's no curves that are relevant for MrYagut in this defense. 49 damage. You have a coup here.
Oh,
One
man. Yeah, you have a coup, and what you're worried also about is Berserker's
There's
Call.
a Bronze Legionnaire. There's Berserker's Call. This is it.
This is it?
This is it. It's
Dog.
Be too much damage.
What in the world?
Even with that 38.
Even with that?
Yeah. So Dog surviving with
man.
nothing. 6 HP lane 2, 1 HP lane 3, but just enough with a risky call to take it here.
Yeah.
The 1 armor will save the Legion Commander by 1 HP. Also still mana available for the Bronze Legionnaire, so overkill lane 1. MrYagut concedes, and in the end, Dog, without the gold synergy, without the Horn of the Alpha, just playing with really good hero deployments and really good lane control, takes the game.
I have to say that gank ends up just, I think, being the game.
Yeah.
In all honesty, that started a snowball effect on that first lane. You put down the Tyler State Sensor, which really didn't end up doing anything. You still could put down the double assault ladders, and I mean, Dog just snowballed out of control. I think he used to be on Complexity, right? If I'm not mistaken, Dog. So he ends up getting Retribution in some way, beating a Complexity player.
Great
so
storyline.
I know, amazing
Analyst
storyline.
panel. What did you guys think about this series?